question is, what about the illegal immigrants? Because it seems like this is the issue now. Right? Everybody's all over the place in Italy and in Europe. You know, the illegal immigrants, we got to expel them because they're creating chaos. But yet in the United States, they don't do anything about sealing the borders or anything like that. So
Right.
how
Well,
the illegal immigrants play a role in this? Or what?
first of all, we must understand that the the true nature of this illegal immigrant problem, the roots of the problem go to the banking industry. It's the banksters that want illegal immigrants. They are the ones that are ruining nations and countries. They are flooding countries with illegal immigrants because it gives them cash. It gives them a lot of money, you see. It's not really the governments. And so the banks require that they have their TIN number, so that they can be processed. You see, once they've got their papers, they can be processed. You see, if an illegal immigrant has no papers at all, they can virtually, they can have speeding tickets. They can do. There's no way that the policeman can actually grab them, nab them, and make extra cash from them. You see, but 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 the banksters profit because what they do is it's twofold. What they're trying to achieve with illegal immigrants. First of all, they're trying to destabilize the countries and introduce a little bit of crime. They usually allow people with bad records to come into other countries. They handpick them. They know what they're doing. They see, in the 50s, when my parents came to this country as immigrants, it was so stringent. They couldn't have diseases. They couldn't have criminal records. They couldn't have. They needed money. My parents. They had to qualify to come to this country. You see, so the government has stringent requirements, but the banks, on the other hand, are behind the illegal immigrants situation because they stand to benefit from this. Whereas we, the people, we would prefer to have good standing citizens come in and contribute to our countries, etc. So you see, this problem is created, and all the problems in the world, wars, recessions, they're all created scientifically by the banksters. You see, these are parasites. And so this is why there's this hypocrisy. You can't get your papers, you can't get work, but you can pay tax. And the only reason they do that is so that they can have an excuse to nab people via the name.
Because it is to their benefit, obviously. Otherwise, they wouldn't give them citizenship eventually, right? Because they can, let's say, if they marry a U.S. citizen, they can file for their petitions. If they have a child or they have a work contract, so it's not like it's totally illegal, it's not like if they are saying no, we don't want anyone, and the U.S. government says, well, you know what, we're not going to allow anyone in, or we're going to seal the borders, and that's the end of it. That doesn't happen. And now the movement in the United States, in New York, I was just reading that they're passing a law now where they're going to be, if they stop, they're just going to stop people randomly and ask them for their papers, like in Nazi Germany, and then see if they're illegal or not. And if they're illegal, they're going to be deported. But it's not that they're getting deported or straight away. They'll be sent to some jail, which is privately owned, right? And that's the other big business. And they'll be held there for about a year or two. And obviously, they're going to make money on that as well. And then eventually, they'll deport these people. So it ain't that they don't want. It's not that they don't want people coming into the country, because most of those people, what do? They work cheap. They do all the work that the regular Americans don't want to do. All the dirty work. And obviously you don't have to pay for no insurance. You don't have to pay for any benefits to these illegal people. So it's all, as you say, it's just hypocrisy, and it's just the same nonsense that these nasty bankers want to continue enslaving people all over the world, right? But they give you that notion that, oh, we're against illegal immigrants, but yet nothing is done. Santos. So to conclude tonight's conversation, um, what would be the first step for someone who's very new to this idea of understanding your natural rights or your human rights? What would be the first step for them to do?
Research. Research is the first step. Be responsible and know who you are. But certainly do some reading and start somewhere, because you'll find that with knowledge you will grow incrementally, exponentially. You'll build up